Okay, reviewing X Tyler L. Says they are a Mercy main, playing a comp placement game around 2800. And sorry if this if the audio is a little bit scuffed. I don't have a professional setup, and this is I rarely do VOD reviews, but yeah, I'm happy to do them. Helps me exercise my mind and help people learn the game a bit more. So let's see. So X Tyler L. I'm just gonna call them Tyler. Oh, that's the wrong Mercy. So this is the player we'll be reviewing. Let's see what's going on. So they say this is a comp placement game around 2800. This was a loss. Wondering if how they could have turned it into a win. They tend to bunny hop in the front lines, but usually don't get punished. And they also felt that their Zen or Ana wasn't applying that much to the team, which makes them feel like they have to provide more to get the most output out of their healing. They say they're pretty good at damage boosting and barely heal full health targets. Okay, let's see what's going on. So you are on the blue team.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Let's go with comps. Let's check your team comps. Okay, let everyone leave spawn. Okay, everyone's sticking to this, I guess. So firstly, a team comp. Not a great comp to be playing Mercy in, I would say. Or actually, it's more of the Mercy Zen backline that I'm afraid of. What's happening here is that you've got a Ryan Diva, and like this pair of tanks is gonna frontline. They're gonna get in and deal damage, and they're also gonna attract a lot of damage. And they don't, like, Reinhardt doesn't have a very great means of escape, which is why you generally run a Lucio with him and a main healer that does burst healing. So generally, if you have a Ryan centric comp, you go with like a Moira Lucio or an Ana Lucio or a Bap Lucio backline. So this is going to be a bit hard for him, I'm assuming, because you're going with Mercy Zen, which is significantly low healing for a Death Ball based tank line. Otherwise, Ashe and Reaper, that's fine. They're okay with Ryan Diva. I'm skeptical about Mercy Zen. The enemy team has Ryan Zarya, again a good tank line. They've got McCree Doom, which is fine. They've got a Brig, which can work. Brig isn't too bad. I would still prefer a Lucio on a map like Busan, but Brig is still good. They're also running a Mercy, so it's not like they will have insane amounts of healing as well. But they will still have a bit more because of Brig's armor packs. So let's see how this goes for you. So you're just damage boosting Ryan for now. Nice super jump. Ryan gets pinned. Let's see that once again. And forget the background noise. It's again, like I said, it's a scuffed setup. I'm at home with my family. There's gonna be some noise. I apologize again. Okay, your Ryan goes in. He's walking in. You are with your Reaper, healing him up because he's just taken some burst damage. Ryan goes to point. The enemy team just goes together on point, which is what you should be doing on a Death Wall comp. Your team is quite split up. Let's go without this, is a bit too slow. Ryan's basically, he charges into, okay, that's his mistake. That's honestly a big mistake by Ryan. He gets pinned, you can't do anything about it. Meanwhile, Doom punches your Zen, takes him out. It's just a bad fight. Nice super jump tech, by the way. And then, I mean, it's fine. It's a reset for you anyway. There's no point in extending the fight, so your death doesn't really matter. It's a good thing you're resetting. Reaper's still going to point. A wrong move by him. He's again going to delay your team's engagement, I'm assuming. Okay, he teleports. He gets stunned out of his teleport. He gets stunned out of his teleport. Nice, good job by that brick. And then he dies. I mean, so far, not much you could have done. Okay, your team should not take this engagement. Let's see what you're doing. You're just healing them up. Let's go with this. Let's see what's happening. Ryan takes damage, start healing Ryan. That's fine.
Heroes never die.
Okay, popping Valk. Going for the res, okay. He'll play this fight back later. Let's just see what happens here. Unlucky. Unlucky. Let's go back. Let's go back. So you're just healing your team. I mean, also again, I know it might sound annoying, but do you realize how poorly Mercy Zen is doing in a death ball matchup? Like, essentially, if you have such low healing, your tanks are never going to be able to engage aggressively, and that's only going to weaken your attacks. So if you have a Zen, and you're running a Rhine Diva or Rhine Zarya, I would suggest you play something like BAP, because BAP Zen provides a ton of shield break, so at least, even though it's not the ideal comp to run a Reinhardt in, since he wants to get up close, you can focus on breaking their shields and still provide stable healing to your front line. But anyway, this is about Mercy. Let's just review Mercy. Pop Valk, go with your Diva, almost gets the Doom. Your Rhine charges in. He's a feeder. He's a big feeder. Your Diva takes down the Reinhardt. I need to see that. Rhine's down, just micro missiles. Let's split this at half. Diva dives in for some reason. There's no diveable target, but your Diva goes in anywhere. You rest the Rhine. Diva feeds. Diva gets demacked. That's a fantastic grab by the Zarya. It's a really great combo by their side. They know that you have no barrier to protect you, so they just use the grab Deadeye, and you lose the fight. I mean, not much to review here so far. It's just that your team's like, firstly, your Reinhardt feeding his brains out. You're running a comp that isn't. I mean, you're running a backline that isn't going to help out a Rhine Diva frontline that much. So not an ideal situation either way. You're doing your best, I can tell. You're just trying to keep everyone up. You popped your Valkyrie at a decent point in time, trying to enable your team to cross the choke. Again, I think your frontline is actually a big problem. I don't know if the Rhine thinks he should play extra aggressive because he won't last long in an extended fight anyway. But yeah, that guy needs to improve his Rhine play tremendously. Okay, anyway, let's see what you have now. And so you have a Shatter, you have a Blossom and a Bomb, which you'll definitely get those in this fight if nothing goes horribly wrong. Your Ashe might get a Bob as well. They have a Shatter, Rally, and Meteor Strike. So I think it's not too bad for your team at this point. An obvious combo you guys have coming up is the Shatter Bomb. Not really your onus, but it's a combo that can really work well in this scenario. Let's see what your team does. Oh, big slam. Oh, wow. Nice try, nice try. Nice try by the tanks. Don't go for it. Are you going for it? What are we doing here? Your team's extremely indecisive, I must say. Now the Reaper ults. You're kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's fine, dude. You somehow win that fight. Good res. Okay, let's go through what happened here. Let's go even further back. Let's play this a bit more. So their Doom is disengaging here. He just escapes barely with his life. Diva chases after him. You're still here. You have your res up and ready. You can't res anyone anymore though. Your Diva's on the left. Ryan's charging in. Your Reaper's on the right. And you're with neither of... Like, you're there with none of them. So again, this is just like 10 seconds of downtime that under normal circumstances would have lost your team the fight. But luckily the Reaper gets a good Blossom across. Diva finishes the McCree. Your Ryan gets charged again. I mean, that's gonna happen like every fight, I think. And you just win this fight. There's not much to it.
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
Okay, now what do we want to do in this fight? We know they will have a Valkyrie. They have a Shatter. They might get a Graviton if the fight goes on for too long. We have a Valkyrie. We might get a bomb in this fight. So what do we want to do? So there's two things you can do. Firstly, you can save your Valkyrie to retaliate to their Valk. So just as a reactionary ult to deter some aggression. Or you can use it proactively as soon as the enemy team approaches this point, I would say. When they get to the end of the choke, you can pop your Valkyrie and push them back. See if they respond to it. Either way it'll be even. If you can finish the fight off quickly, it's beneficial for you. So then the enemy Zarya won't get the Graviton Surge. So remember, she's high charge right now, but if you still have your Reinhardt and you have your Diva to mitigate enough damage. So if you can get like a quick kill onto the break or something like that, you can just win the fight for free. And a proactive Valk would encourage your team to be aggressive. If they pop their Valk in return, that's pretty good. So yeah, I'm not gonna go into what your team should be doing. I'm just gonna suggest what I think should do, and see how it plays out. So yeah, a proactive Valk would be good here at this choke, at this point in the choke. Okay, I like this. Your damage boosting Ash. Oof. Thank God. Tree on the left. Bring your Reaper.
Heroes never die.
Okay. Oh wow, huge. Diva eats that. I love these super jumps, by the way. I'm rarely able to do them, so I'm always in awe. I mean, I don't play much Mercy, but yeah. Yeah, let's go through this bit. Let's go through this. So the enemy team rotates to the right side. They have popped Valk. You pop Valk in retaliation. The Doom dives in, damages your Zen. You start pocketing your Zen. The Zarya is going to grab... Oh, your Diva knows it. Your Diva knows it. That's excellent. Your Diva knows it and eats it. And trust me, eating an ultimate like Grav throws off the enemy team way more than you think. Or at least the enemy Zarya. If she is doing it without telling anyone. Because that screws up the ult economy. That screws up their game plan for the fight. And you know, it's sometimes really discouraging when that happens. And it can cause the Zarya to mess up. So... yeah, so you're just trying to keep your team alive once again. You really should be heal the Diva. Jump onto the Reaper when you can. which is unlucky with some angle. Okay, you're surviving. Your Zen's down, but you're still alive. You go for the res. Doom's gone. Doom doesn't stand a chance here. Does Ash? Yeah, Ash survives. Alright. What's next? So it seems like whoever's here, the Ryan, McCree and Mercy, they want to engage anyway without their Doom, Zarya and Brig. So anyway, what should be your response to this fight? So obviously in early fights you want to damage boost the Ashe like you did earlier. Those dynamites can deal a lot of damage and help Ashe farm Bob really fast. So that's perfect. The enemy team has 3 ults and Rally, which could potentially be built up. You have a Bob and a bomb, and you will work up to Shadow, I'm guessing, this round. So nothing, just keep doing your thing. Damage boost the Ashe in the pre-fight. You guys don't have a Reaper, but they're also not grouped up. It's still a pretty good fight for you to take, I would say. So let's just see what you do. Yellow. Good positioning. Behind cover, but still able to heal your team. Diva uses bomb. Huge bomb. Huge. That's just one as the fight. So what do? We go aggressive here. But that's really your tank's initiative there. If they don't go aggressive, you don't go aggressive. This is fine. This is fine. Not much to analyze. That was a huge bomb. So the thing with Mercy is her rules are pretty basic. I mean, she's relatively... I mean, mechanically, she's one of the easiest heroes in the game to play. But then this tech like the super jump and just knowing whom to damage boost or heal at what point in time, that makes Mercy, I would say, I wouldn't say it's a completely cerebral hero, but you need to be smart about where and when you use your resources. So yeah, there's like not much of extensive planning that you need to do in the pre-fight. This is what I'm gonna do. Mercy just more of like a reactionary hero who plays based on what she sees is happening during the team fight. So yeah, pre-planning can't be very extensive. Let's see what goes on here. Again, I like the damage boosted Ashe. They have just dropped Rally. Oh wow, users. Good stall, like it. I mean, not much you could do here. Let's see that through again. So this is where it starts. So the Doom is up here. Reaper's waiting for the tanks to walk through the choke, I'm guessing. The Doom Fist is... he spots your Zen. I'm just interested to see what you do. They pop Rally. They're going in as a unit. Doom engages your Zen. Combos him and finishes him off pretty clean. You fly to your Diva, which is fine. Your Ashe is low up there. You still stay with your tank. That's a good decision. I mean, it's hard to tell whether you made the right decision to fly to Bob and heal him up here. He's not on the objective, and your Reinhardt is low on health. I don't know if it's just like a poor spur of the moment decision, But I would just uh, stay here where you were and heal your Rhine. Maybe just walk forward instead of flying towards that Bob, because you are putting yourself in more danger over here.
Let's get you back out there.
So you fly back to your Rhine, which is good.
Heroes never die.
Pop Valk, again good decision. I mean, obviously it's final fight. Revive your Rhine while your Reaper is clearing the area. He doesn't do anything with it. They pop Valk.
Damage boost engaged.
I mean, after this it's just a lost fight, right? There's not much to review. You just do your best to keep the team alive. The Rhine's still charging at every chance he gets.
Der Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei.
Okay, let's skip forward.
Ready.
Let's skip forward. Okay. Let's see this. Okay, so what I gathered from that first round, I think you're doing okay. There's not much you could do given the circumstances, like based on what was happening over there. Your Rhine just kept feeding. The only thing I would suggest is try and gauge. Like you need to improve your mid-fight positioning. I would say if that kind of positioning is what you generally apply in your games, your mid-fight positioning can improve. You need to gauge whether you have to fly towards whom you're healing or whether you can stay in your current position and still keep them up. And also try and minimize your downtime. So for instance, you remember that fight where your team retook the point, you were still like, you were still in your team's choke and you were just not healing or damage boosting anyone at that time since your team was split. So just try and be with someone if your team is split up. See whom you think can get the most value when you pocket them in such a situation, and just go with them. It's like healing or damage boosting someone is better than not healing or damage boosting anyone at all. So yeah, just like minimize your downtime and be aware of your mid-fight positioning. Otherwise I think you're doing pretty well. So let's see, our comp is switched up a little. Adiva's gone monkey, Winston. We've got double hit scan with Ashe and Soldier. On the enemy team, the DPS line is now Doom May, and they are still running Mercy Break, Rhine Zarya. So let's see.
Damage boost engaged.
Damage output increased.
You needed a doctor?
Oh, okay. This is a good spot.
Where would you be without me? Dein Schutzengel ist da. Let me get you patched up. I need help. Healing stream engaged.
Oh wow. Good shatter, good shatter. Okay. Let's review. So your the enemy Doom has engaged your Ashe, and I think you anticipated that. What is this? What is this? Let's go back.
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I mean, I'm just not a fan of Mercy's and with Ryan.
You needed a doctor?
I think you anticipated the Doom diving your Ashe because of the sound cue. That seems very reactionary, like the way you switched your beam. So I'm assuming like you knew the Doom was coming, which it's really good if that's true. Your monkey is half health and for some reason he engages the enemy head on. I think he got really lucky that he didn't get burst down, and he gets a pick, so he's like doubly lucky. You're keeping your line up. Good decision.
Dein Schutzengel
The
ist da.
objective is now active.
Let me get the
I'm just trying and keeping everyone alive.
I need help.
You're behind the wall. Big slam, big slam. I think it could have worked wonders actually. I don't think it was too bad of a timing for the Earth Shatter. I think it could have made that fight winnable if just like, you know, positioning was a bit different. Anyway, so you've, again, this fight, not much you could have done. So here's what's a little, I mean, here's why you're at a disadvantage, right? So you have a Reinhardt. Again, like I said, he requires more burst healing on his side since he, you know, just wants to walk into fights and take damage head on, and he doesn't have any escape tool, unlike Winston who can jump out. So you running Mercy Zen into this, firstly doesn't give you much burst healing, and secondly doesn't give you as Mercy the opportunity or encouragement to damage boost either of your hit scans, which is where Mercy's value really lies. Because a constant damage boost, no other support hero has that. No other hero has that on a standard cooldown. So, I mean, yeah, I probably shouldn't rant about the comp anymore, but yeah, just not a fan of it. Yeah, let's go. Let's move on. So you've got your Valk. The enemy Mercy is already finished using her Valk. The tanks have built up to their ults. They'll get them definitely. They've got a rally to engage you. So the next fight doesn't look very good for you.
Die Wunder der modernen Medizin. I've got you.
Oh, please don't tell me they die. Yikes. Not much you could have done. So yeah, we are going in with a Valk and a Primal. We might get our Visor. I don't think we'll get Visor honestly actually. We might get Bob if Ash is lucky enough to catch the enemy team without the Zarya bubbles. Let's see what happens. I meant during the dynamite.
Healing stream engaged. Team cleared. Peak performance.
No. Okay, I think I found like your first real mistake, I would say, which is, so we knew that they had a graph, we knew that their team was in a position to follow up on it, and your Zen went down. I did not notice that. Anyway, so they popped a graph and in a position where you couldn't really heal your team a lot as Mercy, and plus Valk is not a good reactionary ult to a Graviton Surge, even without a combo, because they've clearly got the tools to finish off your team in there. They've got a Doom ult, which you cannot block in anywhere. So yeah, just don't use Valk against a Grav unless it's in like a really horrible position and you know the enemy team can't follow up on it. So yeah, that's like a wasted ult. Too bad. Hopefully we don't repeat that mistake.
Healing stream engaged. I'm with you.
I don't know. Just for those who don't know what defensive ults are, it's essentially Zen's Transcendence and Lucio's Sound Barrier. These are the two strongest defensive ultimates in the game. And these are the ones you would normally use to counteract a Graviton Surge. But right now, since you had none, and since the enemy team was in a good position to capitalize on the Grav, not a very wise decision to pop Valken. Especially since your team is in a disadvantaged position. Anyway, so Pocketing Ash. Ash dies.
Let me get you.
Ash's positioning is quite risky. And we should not take this fight, but okay. You get the point?
Your supporter has arrived.
He charged off. What should we do? That's right. Reset, that's fine. Let's go back. So your team somehow rotates and caps the point. Yana finishes off their doom, huge. The enemy team walks onto point with rally. No wait, that's not rally, that's just an armor pack. Let's slow down. Soldiers up on high ground, he's very free. You don't have a tool to really shut him down next, other than if your Winston goes up there, but he's dealing with the brig. So we heal. That's my cap, by the way.
Helden sterben nicht.
Okay, so our Ryan lands a bad shatter. He fails so badly, puts his hammer through his own head, and yeah, my cat's also pitching in. So my cat, her name's Ravi, by the way. Yep. She's asking why isn't the Winston constantly on the soldier, which is a damn good question. But anyway, so we are just healing our Rhine up. Again, low on health. Not much we can do. Their Rhine charges off. Their soldier pops visor, bursts down Ana with the help of Zarya. Your Rhine charges in again like a madman. Okay, you see your Winston, you fly to him. That's fine, that's fair.
Let me get you patched up.
Okay. That's the right decision. We help our tank first. We fly up. Just everyone's getting destroyed. It's fine. Nothing I can be too picky about. And we reset. Let's move on to the next fight. What have we got? So we've got a nano boost, a Valkyrie, and they've popped rally, they've got shatter, and they've got grav. So one thing I'm looking for is hopefully you don't react to the graviton surge with your Valkyrie, unless obviously you're an, I mean it's final fight, so that's actually debatable. You know what, yeah, it wouldn't be too bad of a decision, because if you lose this fight you lose the point anyway. So let's see what you do about it. You Winston feeds. Ryan gets a kill. Lash, okay. Okay, nice. I like it. I mean, not too bad, but imagine if you did use Valk there, because look at the enemy positioning. I mean, you did seem to kind of think about it for a second. I like that you probably analyzed the situation before deciding not to use the Valk. It's fine. In this case, I would have used the Valk though. Just look at this grav, okay? Let's look at this grav. Okay. They popped a grav. Their team isn't in an immediate position to follow it up. You have got a Rhine in there. What's that noise? You've got a Rein there with a pretty healthy shield actually, 1300 hit points. So you have got the tools to mitigate that damage even if your Rein shield breaks. So I would say go for the Valk here, and yeah, that just doesn't happen, and the enemy team ends up picking off your Reinhardt.
Heroes never die.
Okay, interesting. They let you pass through there. Or couldn't just finish you off. Okay, huge primal. Unlucky. I mean, what more can you do, right? But the thing is that the decision not to use Valkyrie, that might have cost your team this fight, I would say. I mean, you did have a nano boost there, so your Ana technically could have proactively used it on the line to deter their aggression. But since we are just reviewing your play, if I were in a solo queue game, I would have popped Valk there. The enemy team didn't look like they were in a position to follow up on it like extremely well.
Heroes never die.
After that, you tried your best. You just flew to the point. Their Rhine tried to shatter you, but failed, I think. And then you just tried and kept your team alive. And then then you unfortunately lost the game. Okay, so just in terms of what we saw from you, and I'm not talking about team comps anymore. So as Mercy in that comp it was rough because you couldn't use Mercy's most powerful mid-fight utility, which is the damage boost, that much. So if you're not gonna get the chance to do that, then it's really hard to get value out of Mercy. So so what I liked about your play firstly was that you were very conscious about who needed healing, at which point you tried to prioritize your tanks over any other targets and tried and kept them alive and kept keep the point progress going. I also like that you know the super jump. Like I'm a like it's great that you know that tech. You can use it to reposition. I like that you took the high ground to heal your team like you did on that second point. But so the negatives out of that were firstly the downtime. You need to minimize your downtime. If there's kind of like a confusing situation where your team is splitting up and they need to play together, you just decide like whom do you think is going to get the most value in that team fight if you pocket them. So it can be a tough decision sometimes, but you have to make it. Like it's better to be with someone pocketing them rather than not being with anyone and waiting like hoping for a regroup, which I'm assuming is what happened there. And another thing, mid-fight positioning, you need to decide whether or not you want to fly to someone to heal them or just stay in your current position and hope they survive. Like you will still be healing them. Also try to be more thoughtful about whether Valk will get value in certain situations. Like for instance, during the graviton surges, um, like Valk can work as a good deterrent, not a deterrent, but a good counter to it if the enemy team isn't in a position to follow up immediately on it. So yeah, try and do that. If your team is caught like in the middle of nowhere, you're all together, the enemy team has a combo, absolutely wrong time to use a Valk. So remember that. Judge whether you can win the fight if you Valk against the Grav. That's the main tip out of that. So yeah, in summary, minimize your downtime. Um, Improve your mid-fight positioning. I think your early fight positioning is very good. You're always behind cover and you're healing your team while not putting yourself at threat. And thirdly, yeah, better use of Valk. It's way better as a proactive ult rather than a reactive ult. But if you have to use it reactively, gauge whether your team can capitalize on it and either A, survive, or B, just push back and win the team fight. Actually, A and B. So yeah, that's my review for you, Tyler. I hope it was good. I don't do this often. I'm hoping I can do more VOD reviews in the future. Do leave your feedback. Do review my VOD review. Do tell me if I was helpful or if I wasn't. What kind of tips you would like in the future. And yeah, GG's. Not too bad. I wish you good luck in your climb. Bye bye.